thou hast arisen. Verily I have summoned thee to form a tryst, a pact, if you will. Thou art from another world, another time, and thou hast secrets that now could help queen and country. It may feel improper to thee that I have summoned thee in such a way, in such a brutish manner, unbecoming of a gentleman of the court. Well, my newly summoned friend, I am no ordinary gentleman. I am John D. I am an advisor to Queen Elizabeth, our sovereign, and a master of the occult and hermetic practices. For eons I have studied what some believe to be a fool's errand. However, as thou wilt probably know, I have had my share of success. Certainly, prithee, thee have been summoned. My colleagues will be very interested, including young Edward Kelly, who promises to be a very suitable student for my teachings. Now, I have informed thee of who I am, and yet I have not told thee why I have summoned thee. It is simple. I wish to make a bargain with thee, a bargain that could change the tide of the war that my queen currently fights. The bargain is simple. I will teach thee the secret of the philosopher's stone. In return, thou wilt teach me, or bestow upon me, the gift of life evermore, immortality. I don't expect thee to agree forthright. I expect that thou wouldst like some proof of my claims prior to agreeing to any kind of bargain, which I am happy to do so, shouldst thou be patient enough to observe what it is that I do. First of all, the philosopher's stone is not in fact a stone at all. It is a grimoire, pages of an ancient tome that detail many spells and mysteries that I, John D., have seen fit to adapt using modern scientific methods and alchemy to utilize better for our purposes. For example, the primary purpose of the grimoire, the philosopher's stone, is that venerable pursuit, the pursuit of transmuting lead into gold, taking a meaningless, vulgar mineral and metal and transforming it into something that is so valuable that the might of man would fall before it on the fields of battle. Allow me to demonstrate. Here we have 2 pieces of lead, as thou can plainly see. Valueless but malleable, changeable yet weak. What wonders could we conjure were we able to transmutate this into something entirely different, something entirely valuable, more valuable some might say, than life of itself. These pitiful pieces of metal I shall place inside a cauldron. Now, it is worth mentioning at this junction that inside the cauldron already is some fluid, a concoction that I whipped up myself. The concoction precisely is 3 parts spirit, 1 part ass's milk. These measurements must be accurate, otherwise the transmutation will be a complete failure. Do you understand? Good. So, we take the 2 pieces of lead, carefully chosen for their weight. The result will not be such a solid as this. In fact, it'll be more flaky. Thou canst then take those flaky elements and combine them with another metal in order to strengthen it, though gold is malleable anyway. So, taketh of the lead, and 1, 2, plop that into thine cauldron. Next, we must prepare a base for the mixture. The spirit and ass's milk alone will not suffice. We must taketh of dried mushroom. The liberty cap, or the fly, is the only one that will do in this instance. And I must implore thee to be very selective, for if you pick the wrong one, not only will it make an ass of thou, but it might make thine ass hurt too. So, my friend, what we do here is we take the dried mushroom mixture and we place it in a bowl. Then we grind it up until it is a fine dust. Allow me to move the sanguis. Thou must be careful at this part of the process in order to not overwork the dried mushrooms. I would recommend that thou treateth it like a loved one, or certainly someone that thou dost care about greatly. Gentle turns. Once that step is complete, thou must taketh the mixture that thou hast prepared and pour it into the cauldron. Now that that step is complete, we must heat the mixture gently with flame. I would not expect thou to be able to create a fire in the manner that I am about to, but for the purpose of demonstration of power, I will perform it presently. You see, once thou dost control the mineral and matter, thou dost control everything that matters. of all the elements. So, now must light, as above, so below, the cauldron flame. Excuse me. And there we have it. Once the mixture begins to bubble, we move on to our next step. Now our next step is to take lifeblood itself, sanguis. This blood is of a young calf. Thou dost not need anything so vulgar as human blood or anything as craven as virginal or nubile blood. Thou dost require cow blood. The younger the better. Then thou must proceed by shaking up the blood so that congealed elements mix with the plasma, and then once we have performed that, we pour it into a mixture. Following this step, we then take the blood and pour it into the cauldron. Now, the next step requires some innovation, shall we say. Thou must track down elements related to thyself, either through history or perhaps even through blood. For example, within this box are artifacts, baubles, if you like. Nothing so fantastic or magical as anything that you might imagine, but basic items taken from history, from times before even me. Thou will observe that the first item is a skull. This skull resonates with me for a number of reasons. For one, it is from a Celtic or Pictish seer or mystic or druid, as they were sometimes called. And this druid was of Welsh descent. Now, as you can probably tell from my accent, I am of Welsh descent too. Now, I am no druid, but my blood is tied to the land. So this little skull, I believe was referred to as a Pen Long Bach, will be used in our conjuration of gold from lead. Simply you place the item into the cauldron. Now, the next items are runes. These runes are from a seer, a Viking seer who was related to Harald Hardrada. Dost thou remember him? No matter. Each rune represents a symbol of power. And we are harnessing this power to our own ends, to transmute that which is base into something of pure value. Whilst these symbols no longer hold power in our realm, they still hold symbolism. So, the boil is reducing now, and hast thou can plainly see gold leaf, pure gold leaf is produced. It shaves off the lead like a beard with a blade, and thou canst be under no illusion that what I claim is true. So, I ask thee, wilt thou accept my bargain? Wilt thou grant upon mine self life evermore in order to fight the war that my sovereign has pledged to win? Nay, thou'st say. Nay, indeed. Well, then, I am left with little recourse. You see, although this cauldron that I have been placing symbols of power and history into is indeed part of the philosopher's stone's method in turning lead into gold, this cauldron can also become something much darker and more powerful. In fact, it can become a mausoleum of sorts for spirits who do not acquiesce to demands laid upon them by men of great providence. And so, unfortunately, my friend, I have come for my pound of soul, and thou will be cast into this tomb as a djinn in a lamp, forevermore, forever alone, with the echoes of thine own wails for comfort.